Hey guys, it's CS Joseph with csjoseph.life doing a new season. Season 15, episode 1, right? We're going to be talking about interaction styles and temperaments. I decided that actually because of the audience, a particular subscriber, had reminded me that I had left some things out when it came to the type grid, and I did not properly give people the tools necessary to assist them in identifying temperaments and potentially a little bit with interaction styles as well. So basically, this playlist is to be used as a dictionary because I'm going to be providing definitions of terms in terms of how to use the type grid appropriately. And at the end of this season, I'm going to be re-releasing the type grid with those additional changes added to it to help people understand how to use it for more accurate results. On the Discord server, I've also noticed some additional issues because there are a lot of people that are mistyped on the Discord server, and a lot of people that don't know their type, and a lot of people trying to help each other figure out their types, and it's been pretty difficult actually. We've had some difficulties here and there within the community, but I'm glad that everyone is trying and definitely learning and figuring it out, which is great. For that, I'm very thankful, and I'm thankful for the community's direct involvement in helping each other figure it out. That being said, because of these experiences and also the fact that I left some things out from the Linda Barron's model, I actually purchased the most recent editions of her books just to verify everything one more time, and sure enough, I left a few crucial details out. By adding them to the type grid, it will make it a lot easier for people to identify their type, and it will make it a lot easier to do it. Well, actually, it'll make it faster, for one. It'll be more accurate and kind of give people additional tools to use it. So, really happy about that. But in order for that to work properly, I need to do what I haven't done, and that is talk a little bit deeper about the interaction styles and a little bit deeper about the temperaments, basically, and how to properly identify your interaction style and your temperament or that of somebody else. So now I know I know that in my How to Type Yourself and Others playlist, I provide an overview of the temperaments and an overview of the interaction styles. That's great, and that is definitely relevant, and I still recommend everyone read or watch or listen to that playlist for learning how to type yourself and others as a foundation, but it does not go as deep as I had hoped it would have. And that's because I don't exactly provide the best definitions of the terms. So I'm going to be providing, just a deeper look, a deeper dive. We're going to be comparing direct versus informative. We're going to be comparing initiating with responding, just so we have a better idea of extroversion and introversion a little bit more. Got to touch on it a bit more, as well as control versus movement. We're going to be talking about abstraction versus concrete. We're also going to be talking about pragmatism, or the pragmatic versus affiliative, right? So all of those items we will be defining and comparing, contrasting during this particular season. And then we will re-release the type grid after that. And then beyond, we're going to be diving into the cognitive functions, and we're going to be talking about the 4 sides of the mind. We're going to be talking about how they manifest, especially in children. We're going to be talking about the different attitudes of the cognitive functions as well. These are some additional seasons for the podcast and here on YouTube for playlists that will be happening immediately following this particular playlist. And while all of this is happening, I'm still going to be continuing with the type comparisons. I have 3 more seasons of type comparisons to do. which is going to be an additional 24 episodes of type comparisons. And at that point, I'm basically pretty much done with type comparisons. Although, if you have a specific comparison that you're asking for, I will do that, no problem. I'm not exactly too concerned about that. So, anyway, so let's do an overview of the interaction styles. Oh, one more thing. I'm still going to be doing season 13 as well, the current human nurture season or series that we've been working on, which is personal sovereignty and the sacred genders. We're going to be going a little bit deeper as we move along through that and getting into some practical examples after we finish with King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, and extending that a little bit further with some bonus content. Well, that's great too. And I also forgot to mention, we're doing a giveaway right now, a round of a giveaway. So a round is that, you know, all you have to do is be a subscriber. You have to like the lecture and also leave a comment in the comment section. And after that, you're entered in automatically to win a free copy of Dr. Robert Glover's book, No More Mr. Nice Guy. Giveaways are going to be a regular thing now for this channel because we've gotten past 5,000 subscribers, so thank you for that. And we're definitely on the road to 10,000, so let's keep the growth going. And thank you for your support of the channel regardless. So, and now the actual overview. So what are the interaction styles and why are they important? So we've already talked about the interaction styles. It's the Dr. Linda Barron's model. It comes from her book, Understanding Yourself and Others, the Temperaments 4.0, for example. And interaction styles basically show how human beings interact with each other from a behavioral point of view, right? It's all about being behavioral and using behavioral psychology or detecting behaviors to determine someone's interaction style, which match 4 of the 16 types, basically. If you can identify someone's interaction style, you've already eliminated 12 of the 16 types, and then you just have to figure out which temperament they are, and then you find out specifically which of the 16 types they are. That's how the type grid works. So you have 4 interaction styles. You have direct, initiating, control. That's the in-charge group, also known as structure types. You have the starter types, which is where I'm at, which is informative, initiating, movement types. You have the also the finishers, basically, and those are the direct, responding movement types. And the background types, also known as behind the scenes, and that is the informative, responding, control types. Great, we know this already. And I'm going to be defining each of those terms, so you can kind of use this like a dictionary, so it makes a little bit more sense. But the temperaments, however, going a little bit deeper, we've talked about how SJs are traditionalist, past-focused, duty-based protectors, right? We've talked about how artisans are freedom-based creators, living in the moment, etc. And we've talked about how intellectuals are future thinkers, or thinkers according to Plato and his model, right? And then there's the idealists, the intuitive feelers. But we haven't talked about, which we will touch on as definition of terms, abstraction versus concrete. Abstraction is applied to intuitives, right? And concrete is applied to sensors. So if you're trying to figure out someone's temperament, okay, well, you've got their interaction styles, so you've eliminated 12 of the types, so you have 4 left, right? Well, you need to determine if they're an intuitive or a sensor next, right? Are they conversing or speaking or interacting in a way that is abstracting ideas, or are they doing it that's based on something more concrete or down to earth, right? So once you know those, you can eliminate half of the remaining 4, and then you're down to 2 types. And then after that, all you have to do is figure out if they're affiliative or pragmatic. And once you understand the definition of affiliative or pragmatic, you finally have eliminated to the final type, and you know exactly which of the 16 types they are, right? So anyway, this lecture series will be deeper in terms of defining what those terms are, and then we're going to re-put them into the type grid again. We'll revisit the type grid, and we'll do some examples of how to type specific types with it, right? And we might even throw a celebrity in there, for example, to be like, hey, let's type the celebrity based on, you know, what we know. Probably do a screen sharing session for that. We'll talk to Alex, see what he would have in mind for that before we do it. So, but yeah, just be aware that having these additional attributes on the part of the temperaments is really going to increase accuracy and make the type grid a little bit better. I've noticed that a lot of people within the community have not really had a problem so far with determining interaction style. The main issue has been the temperaments, right? And a lot of the reason for that is, traditionally speaking, from an MBTI approach, a lot of people have been focusing on, you know, the Keirsey way of doing things and identifying temperament, which, let's be honest, I am very against Keirsey. I prefer the Plato way of doing it. I prefer Dr. Linda Barron's take on Plato's system, which is how she has developed her form of identifying the temperaments, and I find it, you know, ideal. Now, we do have a member of the community, Bale, and Bale mentioned that he doesn't really prefer typing people from a behavioral standpoint, right? And I understand where he's coming at, because, you know, he's an I hero, he's an INFJ, right? And I get it. I get that it can be, you know, not ideal for an NI hero, SE inferior to be able to do that per se, but I think that after we understand the specific definitions of these terms from a Jungian analytical psychology standpoint, from a temperament standpoint, once we really understand the definition of these terms, and you do it all the way across the board, be it from temperaments or to interaction styles, you really will have everything tools-wise in your toolbox to type anyone, including yourself. So yeah. It was necessary to do this because, like I said, we were having some issues within the community, and I want to make sure that this component of the community and everything that's taught here at CSJ is understood, right? Because if you can't identify your own type, or if you're having a hard time identifying someone else's type, and you're at risk of mistyping yourself or others, what's the point, right? So based on the people that have been supportive so far, and those offering criticism to myself as a result, which I thank you guys for the criticism, it's very helpful. We're just going to do a quick a quick 6 lectures after this one, so a total of 7 lectures with this particular lecture series, and just kind of get it nipped in the bud, and then we'll add another one to revisit the type grid. We're all whiteboarded out, and just kind of give you some practical examples with specific types, and we'll go from there. So awesome. Anyway, if you found this introduction for this new lecture series useful, helpful, educational, insightful, please subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and on the podcast. That'd be great. Leave a like while you're at it. If you have any questions about interaction styles or temperaments, let me know, and I will answer them by, you know, responding to your comments. Don't forget about our Discord server, guys. Join the Discord server. Don't forget about our meetup in the Bay Area either. Check that out too. And don't forget our giveaway right now for a copy of No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment, and you'll be entered to win that giveaway. And we're going to be doing multiple giveaways per month as we progress with the channel. So awesome. Thank you all, and have a good night.